and did a rough count. There were 36 titles. I think I counted. Oh, did I get the number right? Yeah? 36. 36 different varieties of books covering various topics. Highly encourage you all to get it for yourself and also get it for your friends. Diwali is coming up. It's a season of giving. This is the perfect books to give, particularly the kids' books. It looks phenomenal. So please take a look at those books. Supplies only whatever we have here. So please make sure. I announced last time also, we don't want Prabhu to take these books to, where are you going next, Prabhuji? You're going to New York. Yeah, we don't want all these books to go to East Coast. We have a lot of Texas pride. So we want to make sure that all of Prabhu's books finish right here in Texas itself. So can we do that, devotees in Round Rock? We can do that? Haribol. Thank you. Thank you so much. So without further ado, we welcome His Grace Vilas Prabhu again. So let's loudly chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra to welcome Prabhu here to ISKCON of Round Rock. Hare Krishna.
Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jayo Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe. Jayo Sita Ram Jayo Lakshman Hanuman. Sita Ram Jayo Lakshman Hanuman. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitya Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitya Gaura Haribo. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutaha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadotam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Shute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna. Very happy and grateful to be amidst all of you all here today. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for coming on a Wednesday evening here. I'm sure after a long working day, it's intense. Today, I'm going to be speaking on a very, very interesting and a very powerful concept from the Ramayana. At the end of today's session, all of you will be convinced that you don't know the Ramayana at all. And at the end of today's session, all of you will be convinced that you really want to study the Ramayana. Ready? So, today's session, I'm going to divide into 3 parts. The first half of today's session, I'm going to be speaking on the characters of Ramayana. I'll just pick up a few characters from the Ramayana and analyze how these characters, the names of these characters, have an immediate relevance in our lives. The second part of today's session is I'm going to pick up one episode in the Ramayana and look at how that episode has a very powerful practical relevance in our lives. And the third part of today's session is I'm going to take the Ramayana in totality and I'm going to analyze the entire Ramayana from the point of view of our life. Okay? So that's typically what I'm going to do today. And at each point in today's session, you the Ramayana. Let's just pick up some characters of the Ramayana and analyze the characters from our life point of view. The first character in the Ramayana is Lord Ram, obviously. The word Rama means the one who gives pleasure to others. The moment you chant the name of Ram, you think about Ram, it will bring a smile on your face. That's the meaning of the word Rama, and that is the character of Ram also. In the Ramayana, there is another personality whose name is Ravana. The word Ravana means the one who makes others cry. That is the meaning of the word Ravana. Interestingly, Ram and Ravan both exist in our life. There are some people, the moment they come into our life, you feel like smiling. You look at some people, just looking at them, you feel like smiling. And then there are some people, the moment you look at them, you feel like crying. That's the Ram and Ravan in your life. So it's not that Ram and Ravan existed many years back, they exist today also, around us, basically. In the Ramayana, there is a personality whose name is Dasharatha. The word Dasharatha means, Ratha means chariot, and Dasharatha means the one whose chariot can move in 10 directions. So Dasharath, actually his chariot could move in 10 directions. But there's a deeper meaning of the word Dasharatha. In the Upanishads, the body is referred to a chariot. You'll find many Upanishadic verses which give you an analogy, as the body is compared to a chariot. What is the meaning of Dasharatha from this point of view, symbolically? Dasharatha means the one whose 10 senses are under his control. That is another meaning of the word Dasharatha. The one whose 10 senses are under his control. Dasharatha lives in Ayodhya. The word Ayodhya comes from the word Yuddha. Yuddha means war or fight. And Ayuddha means the place where there is no war or no fight. And Ayodhya is a place where no one fights or there is no war, there is no battle. And Ayodhya represents human mind. So Ayodhya represents the mind that is peaceful. So Dasharatha means the one whose 10 senses are under his control and his mind is peaceful. Such a person can give birth to Ram in his life. So if you want to give birth to God in your life, these are 2 things that you need to have. Your 10 senses must be under control and your mind must be peaceful. In the same Ramayana, you will find another person whose name is Dashanana. Ravan has another name. Dashanana means the one who has 10 heads. But Dashanana also means the one whose 10 senses are out of control. Dasharatha means one whose 10 senses are in control, and Dashanana means one whose 10 senses are out of control. And Dashanana lives in Lanka. And Lanka is described as a place where no one sleeps at night. Why does no one sleep at night? There might be many reasons. The Mahabharata talks about 6 reasons why you don't get sleep at night. Then the 7th reason is in our pocket, the mobile phone, That's the latest addition, basically, So, of the different reasons why you don't get sleep, one of the reasons is, if you have stolen somebody else's property, you will not get sleep at night. Lanka, everything is stolen property. So nobody sleeps at night. You might say even in Texas people don't get sleep at night. Now you have to figure out what that means, basically. So, there is a very interesting personality in the Ramayana whose name is Vali. So Vali has one power which is given to him, a benediction that is given to him. And the power of Vali is that when he comes in front of an enemy, he gets half the strength of his enemy. So when anyone comes in front of him, half the power goes to Vali. So Vali is like a battery bank, Half the power it takes away, right? When you charge your phone. So what does Vali represent? Vali represents temptations in life. So whenever you come in front of a temptation, your ability to say no becomes half, and that object becomes double powerful. That's Vali. Like suppose there is a diabetes patient. Now you bring a gulab jamun in front of a diabetes patient. What happens to that fellow? So the gulab jamun becomes double powerful, and he becomes half powerful. His ability to say no becomes half, isn't it? That's Vali. So like this, every character in the Ramayana can be analyzed from the point of view of how we can actually apply these characters and the qualities that they have in our lives. Now, I'm going to pick up one episode from the Ramayana. And this is one of my favorite episodes, and it's so powerful. As I'm analyzing this episode, I want all of you to put yourself in this place, in the place of the characters in the Ramayana, and look at it from your perspective, right? And as I told you, I am only analyzing one episode in the Ramayana now. Exactly in the same way, every single episode in the Ramayana can be analyzed. And it is as powerful. So this section of the Ramayana is where Ram, Lakshman and Sita were in the forest for 13 years. And 13 years later, a golden deer comes into their life. So the moment Sita sees this golden deer, she tells Ram, I want this golden deer. Please get it for me. So Ram, he is very happy because for the first time, Sita has asked him for something. So Ram he tells Lakshman, you take care of Sita, I'll go and get this deer. And Ram runs after this golden deer. At a certain point, Ram realizes that this is not a deer, it's a demon named Marich. And he is disguised as a deer and come. So Ram obviously, he shoots Marich, he kills him. But Marich, while dying, in the voice of Ram, he calls out to Sita and Lakshman for help. And he dies. So when Sita and Lakshman hear the voice of Ram calling out for help, Sita becomes really worried. She becomes very concerned about Ram's safety. She tells Lakshman, go and help your brother. Lakshman tells her, relax, no need to worry. Nothing can go wrong with Ram. Now Sita is very concerned about Ram, but Lakshman is very confident about Ram. So here is a very conflicting situation. So Sita tells Lakshman, no, didn't you hear the voice of Ram? He is in trouble, go and help him. Lakshman starts laughing. Lakshman is thinking, usually, whenever we are in trouble, what do we say? He said, oh God, please help me. Right? When we are in trouble, that's when we remember God the most, isn't it? But have you ever seen that God is in trouble and He is saying, oh living entity, please help me? Have you ever found that happening? God coming in your dream and saying, please help me, I'm in trouble. That will never happen. So Lakshman is laughing, he's saying, come on, why will Ram ever fall in trouble? So Sita is really panicking now. She's very concerned about Ram. So in her panic, in her, anxiety, she sees Lakshman is not moving. So she says something just to, kind of push Lakshman out of his inertia. She tells him, I know why you're here in the forest with us. You're waiting for a chance that Ram goes away so that you can enjoy me. Imagine, Sita is doubting Lakshman's character. Lakshman gets shocked. He gets the shock of his life. He says, I'm leaving from here, But I know when I come back, I won't be here. You won't be here. And Lakshman leaves from there. And then Lakshman reaches where Ram is. So Ram is returning back. And on the way, he meets Lakshman. Ram asks him, "What are you doing here? I told you to take care of Sita." And then when they reach back, they find Sita is missing. Ram gets wild. He starts shouting on Lakshman like anything. He says, "You're useless. The only thing I told you to do, you can't do." And he is really upset with Lakshman for neglecting this one request. Now imagine if you were in Lakshman's place, what would you do? If you were in Lakshman's place, what would you do? Two people that you love the most. One is doubting your character and one is doubting your competence. So if your character and competence is doubted, will you continue being in that organization? If anybody else was in Lakshman's place, they would have said, "Hell with both of them, I'm going back to Ayodhya." Packed up his bags and gone back, isn't it? But the interesting part is that Lakshman continues serving Sita and Ram after this. The question is, how does he manage to do that? And the more interesting part of this particular episode is that when we go through such situations in our lives, it is very difficult for us to be reasonable, isn't it? When somebody insults us. And especially when someone whom we love the most insults us, it is even more painful. If strangers insult us, it doesn't matter so much. But if somebody really we love so much insults us, it's difficult to handle. So this story, which the understanding of the story that I'm going to share with you all now, it can save so many relationships. If you don't know this story, so many relationships can get destroyed. Simply because all of us go through such situations in our lives. And when we go through such situations in our life, we don't know how to deal with it. So let us learn from Lakshman how he dealt with such a situation in his life. Lakshman did what I call as press the pause button. There's an action movie going on and suddenly the phone rings. You don't want to miss any part of the action. What do? You press the pause button, isn't it? And you do whatever you need to do and then you come back and you can start it. So Lakshman, the moment Sita spoke those words, he pressed the pause button and he asked himself a question. The question that he asked himself was, does Sita mean what she spoke? And the answer that he got from within was no. Her concern for Ram is coming out in the form of these words. And the moment Ram spoke those words, again he pressed the pause button. And he asked himself the same question. Does Ram mean what he spoke? And the answer that he got from within was no. His concern for Sita is coming out in the form of those words. Now when we are in such a situation of life, forget pressing the pause button, we don't know where the remote control is. Isn't it? I mean, if somebody insults us, we just want to take out our sword and slash the person. What to speak of pressing pause button and all, So the question is, how did Lakshman do it? And just to help you understand, Lakshman is, throughout the Ramayana, he is an angry young man. If you actually study Lakshman's character, all through the Ramayana, he would get angry at the drop of his hat. In fact, at one point, he got so angry at his own father, he wanted to kill his father. He is such an angry person. How come such an angry person, in such a sensitive situation of life, got the ability to press the pause button and all? As I said, 30 years of relationship can get destroyed in 30 seconds if you don't know what I'm going to say just now. What gave Lakshman the ability to press the pause button that day? One thought. There's one thought of gratitude that helped Lakshman press the pause button. When Sita spoke those words, this one thought of gratitude came in Lakshman's heart. He was thinking, 25 years Sita has deposited love in this relationship. And she has made one mistake. Should I forget to be grateful for the 25 years of love and focus on this one mistake that she has made? This one thought of gratitude helped Lakshman press the pause button that day. And then when Ram spoke those words, again he had the same thought of gratitude. 40 years Ram has deposited love in this relationship. And should I forget to be grateful for the 40 years of love and focus on this one withdrawal, one mistake that Ram has made? That one thought helped Lakshman press the pause button. All of us in our lives, we connect with people. And people do insult us, people do let us down, people do say things that we don't want to hear, all that. But in that moment of anger, that moment of disturbance, if you can just bring in this one thought of gratitude towards what that person has done for me over so many years, and usually the amount of things a person has done for you in the relationship is far, far exceeding the little withdrawals, the little mistakes, the little insults that happen. What do you want to focus on? Most people choose to focus on the externals. But a few people focus on the thought that they have, the thought of gratitude. The quality of my communication to the world outside determines my success. If I'm very good at communicating with people, I'm very successful, isn't it? But the quality of my communication to the world inside determines my happiness. If I want to be happy in life, if I want to be happy in relationships, first start talking to yourself. A lot of us, we are expert in talking to others, but we are seldom able to talk to ourselves. Lakshman just did that in this episode, isn't it? He just managed to talk to himself, and that helped him press the pause button. Now, I'm going to help you understand the entire Ramayana symbolically. So Ramayana happens in 3 cities primarily. Way up in the north is the city of Ayodhya. Way down in the south is the city of Lanka. And in between the two is the city of Kishkinda. So the 3 cities are in alignment. Ayodhya, Kishkinda, Lanka. These 3 cities represent 3 different mindsets. And these 3 mindsets are also in alignment. The city of Ayodhya represents a mindset which is known as Sanskriti. Sanskriti means culture. So the people of Ayodhya are very highly cultured people. In Ayodhya, you will find perfect characters. Kamma Muni, in his Ramayana, there's a Tamil poetry, Tamil Ramayana known as Kamba Ramayana. So Kamba, in his Ramayana, he gives a very beautiful analogy. He says, Ayodhya is a place where no shop sells locks. And Ayodhya is a place where no one gives charity. Now you might find it strange. How come? I mean, in today's world, every shop sells locks. How come Ayodhya no shop sells locks? I was once visiting South Africa. And while I was traveling around, I saw something very strange. There was a police station. And outside the police station, there was a board that said, guarded by private security. Imagine police station guarded by private security. If police people are in trouble, they press a button and people come with machine guns to protect them. See, I'm not sure whether you would like to live in such a place where police needs protection, So in today's world, there's a lot of fear in human beings. That's why we need locks. Because, somebody can rob things, somebody can take away from us. Therefore, we need to protect it with locks. But in Ayodhya, no one locks anything. Even the treasury of the king is open. Therefore, why do you need locks? No shops sell locks. And why is there no charitable person in Ayodhya? Because there are no beggars in Ayodhya. If you want to give some charity, you need a beggar, right? You need someone who needs it, right? But if there is no beggar only, whom will you give? So Ayodhya is a place which is known as Sanskriti. Very highly cultured people. Very highly cultured mindsets. Lanka is exactly opposite of Ayodhya. Ayodhya is Sanskriti. Lanka is Vikriti. Sanskriti means culture. Vikriti means vulture. All the people of Lanka are like vultures. They are snatching from others. They are stealing from others. They are taking away from others. Lanka is stolen property. Everything in Lanka is stolen. Lanka itself is stolen property. That's the nature of people of Lanka, basically. And the policy of Lanka, the overall, the mission, vision statement of Lanka is eat, marry and be happy. Eat, drink and be merry. You might say that that's the policy of America also, Everybody is thinking in that way only, So this mindsets existed from before. So Ayodhya is Sanskriti, Lanka is Vikriti, in between is Kishkinda, which is known as Prakriti. Prakriti means nature. What is the meaning of nature? To help you understand this, let me give you an example. Suppose you're standing on the shore of an ocean. Now this is huge ocean in front of you. Now, can you say you're standing on land or are you standing in water? When the water comes in, you're standing in water. But when the water recedes, you're standing on land, isn't it? That's what nature is. The people of Ayodhya, of Kishkinda, are a little unpredictable. They sometimes follow the mindset of Ayodhya, sometimes follow the mindset of Lanka. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. Just like all of us. Early in the morning, if you see us chanting and all that, we feel that these guys are pure devotees, As the day progresses, the passion and ignorance increases. And by night, we are total demons, Isn't it? So this mindset of Kishkinda is a little unpredictable mindset. It's a little confused mindset, So these three mindsets exist in all of us. We'll find Ayodhya mindset also existing in us. We'll find a Kishkinda mindset existing in us. And we'll find a Lanka mindset existing in us. Obviously, these three mindsets are in different proportions in our lives, right? The people of Ayodhya, there is so much of gratitude in them. So Ayodhya, everyone is Kritagya. Kritagya means grateful. If you do anything for them, they will never forget it. When Ram and Sita were being coronated as a king and queen of Ayodhya, Sita was on the throne along with Lord Ram. And there was a festival going on. The people are dancing, singing, throwing colors. It was a beautiful movement. Right in the middle of the festivity, Sita started crying tears. So Ram was very concerned. He looked at Sita and he asked her, "Why are you crying?" Sita said, "Just now someone threw red color powder in the air. And when I saw that red color powder being thrown in the air, I remembered Jatayu. When Sita was being carried by Ravan, Jatayu tried to come and to protect her. And Ravan cut off the wings of Jatayu. And the blood of Jatayu splashed all over the air. So Sita saw the red color powder and she remembered the sacrifice of Jatayu. So when you are at the peak of your success, what do you remember? Most of the times when we are at the peak of our success, we remember ourselves only. But Sita remembered the sacrifice of someone who helped her in some way. It's not that Jatayu was successful in helping her, but he tried. And that's what Sita remembered during the most happy moments of her life. This is known as Kritagya. The people of Lanka are Kritagna. Kritagna means they have no gratitude. If you do anything for them, they'll forget immediately. But if you do something wrong to them, they'll remember forever. Ravan once was performing tapasya to please Lord Shiva. Lot of people say what a devotee he was, such a great devotee of Shiva. But unfortunately, many of them don't know this story, which I'm going to share with you all. So this guy pleased Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva appeared in front of Ravan. Lord Shiva asked him, "What do you want? Ask for any boon." And Ravan asked for 2 boons. The first boon he asked for was the Atma Linga of Lord Shiva. Atma Linga of Lord Shiva is a very special form of Shiva Linga. So Shiva gave it to Ravan. The second boon he asked for, he said, "I want your wife Parvati." Imagine, what kind of a devotee is this? What kind of audacity is this? This is the Lanka mindset. Kritagna, there is no gratitude at all. And the Kishkinda mindset is known as Akritagya. Akritagya means it's not that they are ungrateful, they just forget to be grateful. Like all of us. You hear one lecture on gratitude, 2-3 days we are grateful people. And after that again go back to square one, So we just need constant reminders to be grateful, basically. So Sugriv in Kishkinda after Ram helped him become the king of Kishkinda, he killed Vali and Sugriva was made the king. So Sugriva was very grateful to Lord Ram. And he told Ram, I'll do anything for you. Tell me what I should do. So at that point, the Chaturmas was beginning. The rainy season was beginning. And Ram told Sugriva that, see, the 4 months of the rainy season is beginning. Let us start the expedition after the 4 months of the rainy season is over. So Sugriva, he says, fine. And he goes into his kingdom. Lord Ram goes into a cave on a mountain known as Malyavanta. And he's inside that cave meditating on Mother Sita. And as Lord Ram is, outside waiting for 4 months to get over, Sugriva is inside his kingdom enjoying himself. Every day, non-stop party. So from the cave outside the kingdom, Ram can hear drums, music and loud speakers and really intense party going on, And for Sugriva, the 4 months of the rainy season pass like this. When you're watching a movie, 3 hours pass just like that. When you're sitting and hearing a lecture, 1 hour doesn't get over only. It's called theory of relativity. Time is very relative in nature. So when you're having fun, time passes fast. When you're not having fun, time just doesn't pass only. So Ram, those 4 months seemed like 4 yugas for him. And for Sugriva, those 4 months seemed like 4 minutes for him. And after the 4 months got over, Ram was very worried because the Sugriva is not coming only to help him. So Ram talks to Lakshman and he says, this guy looks like he has forgotten. He's forgotten his commitment. He's forgotten to be grateful for what I have done for him. So Ram tells Lakshman, go and remind him a little bit. So Ram tells him, go and scare Sugriva a little bit. So Lakshman says, should I go and kill him? Lakshman works in binary, 0 or 1, nothing. Either you love someone, you kill someone, nothing in between. So Ram gives a very interesting explanation. Ram tells Lakshman, see, I didn't tell you to kill him. I told you to scare him. And then Ram defines what is scaring. He says, don't scare him so much that he runs away from me. Scare him that much that he comes running towards me. In spiritual life, fear is very important, isn't it? So if you don't have any fear, you will run away from God. But if you have too much fear also, you will run away from God. So you need a healthy amount of fear. And that healthy amount of fear makes you run towards God, basically. So then Lakshman went and scared Sugriva. And then he became, grateful after that. So the people of Ayodhya, the brothers in Ayodhya, there is a lot of love and affection among the brothers. You will not find any of the brothers fighting with each other. Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrugna. Lot of love, lot of affection. But once in a while, whenever a fight happens between the brothers, the fight happens for a very interesting reason. Like for example, in Chitrakoot, Ram and Bharat met. And both of them had a very intense argument, very intense fight. If you study that part of Ramayana. And the interesting thing is that when Ram and Bharat were fighting with each other, the discussion was not what is right and what is wrong. The discussion was what is right and what is more right. Bharat was telling Ram, it is right that you become the king. And Ram is telling, it is more right that you become the king. And they're fighting with each other. Because in Ayodhya, there is no question of wrong. The question is what is right and what is more right. In Lanka, between the brothers, there is no fight. All brothers, sisters, very cordial, no fight at all. Why? Here it is not out of love, it is out of fear. If anybody opens their mouth, they are kicked out straight. Vibhishan opened his mouth once, kicked out of Lanka straight away. So in Lanka, the discussions are not between right and wrong. The discussion is what is wrong and what is more wrong. Once the ministers of Ravan in the courtroom, they were telling Ravan, so many months back you got Sita, why don't you do something with her? Ravan tells the ministers, I want to do so many things, but what to do? I have a curse on my head. If I touch her without her permission, I will die. Imagine a discussion happening in the parliament house of a country. The ministers are telling Ravan, telling their king to do something which he is not supposed to do. So here in Lanka, the discussion is not between right and wrong, it is between what is wrong and what is more wrong. In Kishkinda, in between brothers, there's a lot of love and affection. But once there is a misunderstanding, and that misunderstanding becomes so intense that they are out there trying to kill each other. And what is the problem? Who is right and who is wrong? Vali went into that cave chasing this demon named Mayavi, and Sugri was told to stand outside the cave. And Vali didn't come out of the cave for 1 year. And Sugri, when he heard finally a scream of Vali, he thought Vali is dead. He covered the cave with a mountain and ran back to his kingdom. But Vali was not dead, he had killed Mayavi. And then when Vali saw the cave being closed by Sugri from outside, he thought Sugri wants to kill him so that he can usurp the kingdom. And then when finally Vali comes back, he sees Sugriv sitting on the throne, he gets convinced. And then both of them are fighting with each other. Vali is saying, I am right, you are wrong. Sugriv is saying, sorry, I thought this is the way it is. So he was talking about his perspective. See, now any event can be seen from two different perspectives, right? And everyone has a story to tell. Usually, my story is right for me, and your story is right for you. It's not that both our stories are right or wrong, it's just a perception, right? So in Kishkinda, the fight is between what is right and what is wrong. These three mindsets are powerful and they exist in all of us at all times. Ayodhya mindset is very complicated, very difficult. Not easy, isn't it? That's why people don't like Ramayana so much. They prefer Mahabharata. Why? Because in Mahabharata everyone is wrong. Everyone cheating. Even Krishna is cheating, and everyone is bad. See, in Ramayana everyone is too good. So people say, hey, I can't follow Ramayana so much. I can follow Mahabharata. But why do we need to follow Ramayana? Why do we need to study Ramayana? Ramayana teaches us a standard that is so high, that is so lofty. We probably will never reach there. But unless and until we have a standard that is so high, you will not have something to aspire for, isn't it? So, that is why we need to study Ramayana. It teaches a high standard. Like say, for example, you go to somebody's house and you see on the wall, you'll find a family picture, isn't it? Husband, wife, 2 kids, nicely dressed, big smile on the face, family portrait. Is that the reality in the house? The reality is Mahabharata, isn't it? Everybody fighting with each other, So why do you put that picture on the wall? That picture is to remind you someday we want to reach there. That's the standard we want to reach someday, Nobody puts the inside picture on the wall. Like for example, I don't know how many of you have seen your own chest X-ray. Very scary to see your own chest X-ray, Have you ever seen someone put his X-ray on the wall? My inside picture, No, we don't want to show the world what we are inside. We want to show the world what we want to be, isn't it? That's why our journey is a journey from Mahabharata to Ramayana. So right now we are in Mahabharata stage, but we want to reach the Ramayana stage at some point in our life. And therefore we should study Ramayana. It just gives us a lofty standard. So when we look at Ayodhya, we say, I don't think we can reach there. And then when we look at Lanka Vasis, we say, hey, I'm not so bad. And then when we look at the Kishkinda Vasis, we can kind of relate to them, a little bit. So in Kishkinda, there are 3 types of monkeys. The first type of Vanaras are Hanumanji-like Vanaras. So Hanumanji's mindset is almost like Ayodhya Vasis only. So you study Hanumanji's life. It's just so amazing. Every bit of Hanumanji's personality is just another level. So we feel that I can't get there anytime in my life. And then you study in Kishkinda, there's a second type of monkey, like Vali. The mindset of Vali is exactly like that of Ravan. Exact. I'm going to tell you a story to help you understand this. One time, Ravan got to know about Vali's powers. And he got to know Vali is really powerful and he might take over him at some point. So Ravan decided to go and kill Vali before Vali attacks him. But Ravan knew, if I go in the front, I'll lose half my powers. So he decided to attack Vali from behind. And he found out the schedule of Vali. And he found out that every day Vali does the Gayatri in the 3 oceans, in the 4 oceans, 3 times a day. And Ravan found out the exact time in which he does the Gayatri. So his plan was very simple. He'll go from behind when Vali is doing Gayatri, catch his tail, rotate him at full speed, bang him on the ground and kill him. Simple plan. So he went as per the plan. Vali was, looking towards the ocean. His back was towards him. Ravan goes from behind, catches the tail of Vali. But then something else happens. The tail of Vali starts rotating around Ravan, tightly winds him up. And then Vali jumps to the next ocean. And Ravan is hanging on the tail of Vali, Imagine Lankeshwar Ravan hanging on the tail of a monkey, Ravan is feeling so embarrassed. He says, leave me, leave me. Vali doesn't bother. He finishes his Gayatri and then releases this fellow. And Vali asks him, what do you want? And you know what Ravan says? Ravan says, I want to be your friend. He came to kill him, but now that he can't kill him, he said, let me be his friend anyways. So Vali and Ravan create a fire and they go around the fire 7 times, taking vows of friendship. And they take interesting vows. They say, from today onwards, we both are friends. Whatever is yours is mine and whatever is mine is yours. Your kingdom is my kingdom is your kingdom. Your wealth is my wealth is your wealth. Your wife is my wife is your wife. Imagine, this is Vali. So his mindset is like Ravan only, basically. So in Kishkinda, you'll have Hanumanji like monkeys, whose mindset is like Ayodhya Vasis. You'll find Vali like monkeys, whose mindset is like Lanka Vasis. And then in between, Sugriv like monkeys. See, Hanumanji is clear what he wants to do in life. Vali is very, very clear what he wants to do in life. The confused guys are in between. Sugriv is confused what I want to do in life. Sometimes he feels like being good when he associates with Hanumanji. Sometimes he feels like being bad when he associates with Vali. And Sugriv is exactly like us. We are almost like the Sugriv category, confused lot, So, the Valmiki Ramayana, to help us understand this mindset of Sugriv, the one that is confused, Valmiki uses the word Vanara. It's a brilliant word that Valmiki uses throughout the Ramayana. And what is the meaning of the word Vanara? Nara means human. And Vanara is a question. Are you human? It's a rhetoric question that you would ask yourself. Every day when you get up in the morning and look at yourself in the mirror, you'd ask yourself this question. Vanara, am I human? Just because you look like a human being doesn't mean you're actually human, In fact, Sugriv, whenever he goes for important meetings, if you actually study the Ramayana, whenever he goes for such important meetings, he changes his form. He disguises himself as a human being and goes. When Sugriv went to meet Lord Ram for the first time, he didn't go as a Vanar form. He went disguised as a human form. Why? Because according to Sugriv, being human means looking human. If I look like a human being, I'm a human being. All of us are interested in looking good. Whatever helps us look good in the eyes of people, we'll do that. If wearing dhoti kurta makes us look good in the eyes of people, we'll wear dhoti kurta. If wearing tilak makes us look good in the eyes of people, we'll wear tilak. If wearing kantimala makes us look good in the eyes of people, we'll do that. So basically, we are not interested in being good, we are interested in looking good. After that, once I go back home, what I do doesn't matter. I should look good. Everybody should say, Arey, such a nice devotee. The problem with most of us is that because we are so much focused on externals, we don't focus on the internal development. And that's what the whole idea of Vanara is. Why is this a rhetoric question in the Ramayana? All the Vanaras have to look at themselves in the mirror and ask themselves, Vanara, am I human? So to the extent I behave like the Ayodhya Vasis, to that extent I'm a human being. And to the extent I behave like Lanka Vasis, to that extent I'm a monkey. Therefore Charles Darwin was right. We all came from monkeys, not from the external point of view, but from the mindset point of view. So we have a choice. whether to be like this or to be like that. I'm going to end today's session by telling you all a story. And this is one of my favorite stories. This is an amazing story. This story it brings out a very, very powerful concept. It teaches a very powerful lesson for all of us to learn. This is a story of Ravan and how he thinks. Ravan has a mindset which is known as, he falls in a very special category in Ramayana. And there is nobody else in the category, only he is there in that category. You know what is that category? It is called the HNS category. In Hindi it says, Hum nahi sudharenge category. For those who don't know Hindi, it means that no matter what, I will not change. And there are some people who are like this, stubborn. And here is a story of Ravan's life that help you understand what kind of stubbornness he had. Just before the war, Ravan approaches Bali Maharaj. Bali is the king of the Sutala Loka. And Bali, he is a Rakshasa. So naturally, Ravan feels that, he is also a Rakshasa, I am also a Rakshasa. Let me go and ask him for help. So Ravan goes to Bali Maharaj and tells him, see, there are two human beings come with a group of monkeys and they're troubling me a lot. Bali Maharaj says, hey, how come human beings and you're scared of humans and monkeys? You eat monkeys for breakfast. What's your problem? So Ravan says, no, these are special type of monkeys. I'll explain. So he said, 3 monkeys came into my life and really troubled me. He said, 1 monkey came and burned my city. Hanumanji came and burned Lanka. And then after some time, a second monkey comes. So one day Ravan was looking at himself in the mirror. And suddenly he felt a little wet on his head. And he looked on top. Sugriva had taken a very tiny form and he was spitting on Ravan. Imagine, spitting on Ravan's head. So Ravan somehow caught Sugriva, but he escaped. So Ravan is telling Bali Maharaj, 1 monkey came and burned my city. A second monkey came and spat on my head and went away. And then after some time, a third monkey comes. Just before the war, Ram sends Angad to give Ravan a last warning. So Angad comes into the court of Ravan. So Ravan asks him, who are you? How did you come into my court? So Angad tells him, I am the son of Vali. The moment Ravan hears the name Vali, he gets scared. He's already had one bad experience. Right? So he asks him, how is my friend Vali? Angad says, your friend is dead. Ravan says, come on, how can Vali die? So Angad says, Ram killed Vali with 1 arrow. Ravan says, come on, who dies with 1 arrow? Nowadays in Bollywood, with 3-4 bullets also, they go roaming around, Nothing happens to them. And he says, Vali died with 1 arrow. Angad gives a very graphic description. He says, just like a ripe banana, you pierce it with a needle, how smoothly the needle goes in. Similarly, Ram's arrow went into Vali's chest and he died. And Angad tells him that arrow of Ram is still with him. If you don't return back Sita, he'll kill you with that same arrow. Ravan says, I'll not return. So Angad says, I'll show you a little demonstration of Ram's power. He puts his foot on the ground and Angad tells Ravan, if you are powerful, remove my foot from the ground and show. Ravan, he says, I don't touch monkey's feet. He sends his son Indrajit. He says, throw this fellow out. So Indrajit has defeated Indra, such a powerful guy. He comes to pick up Angad's feet. He's not able to pick up. Then Ravan himself comes. He puts his full strength. He's not able to pick up. He brings out 20 hands. He's still not able to pick up Angad's feet. Angad says, see, I'll make it easy for you. I'll only put 1 toe of my feet on the ground. You remove this 1 toe and show me. And Ravan, with all his strength, is trying to remove that 1 toe. He is not able to. Ravan asks Angad, what do you drink? Complan B, Bonvita? How you are so strong? What is the secret of your strength? Angad tells him, I chant the name of Ram and held my breath. And because the name of Ram is inside me, I have become so powerful. Imagine if the name of Ram is so powerful, how powerful Ram will be. He tells him, return back Sita. And this guy says no. Therefore, he falls in this HNS category, So Ravan is telling these stories to Bali Maharaj. He is telling him, 1 monkey came and burned my city. 1 monkey came and spat on my head. A 3rd monkey came, I couldn't move his feet also. Bali Maharaj tells him, don't you think you should just return back Sita? Ravan says, see, I didn't come to you for advice. I came to you for help. If you want to help me, otherwise I'm going. So Bali Maharaj says, take come. He took him with him to his garden. And in the garden of Bali Maharaj, Ravan sees this huge, massive mountain of pure gold. When Ravan sees gold, he goes mad. He ran to that mountain, he started picking up the mountain. So Bali Maharaj said, if you can pick it up, you take it home. Ravan said, this is what I came to you for. And he started picking up. He was not able to pick it up. Ravan has lifted Kailash mountain. And he was not able to pick up this mountain. He asked him, what is this? Such a huge thing. So Bali Maharaj took Ravan to far away from the terrace of his building, showed him. Ravan saw it was not a mountain, it was a earring made of gold. One earring made of pure gold. Ravan says, whose earring is this? Such a massive one. Bali Maharaj says, this earring belonged to Hiranyaksha from a previous yuga. And Hiranyaksha was so huge that this was one earring that he was wearing. And during the fight of Hiranyaksha and Varahadev, Varahadev gave him one tight slap. Kaan ke niche bajaya bolte hain. And that slap was so tight that this earring fell over here. And he said, from that time this earring has been here only. And then he tells him, by the way, you were Hiranyaksha in your previous life. And this is your earring. And in this life, your strength has decreased so much, you're not even able to pick up your own earring. And the same Varahadev has come as Lord Ram, but his strength is same. He tells him, return back Sita. And this guy says no. Therefore, Ravan falls in this special category known as Hum Nahi Sudharenge category. No matter how many people tell him, no matter how much evidence he sees, no matter how much logic he sees, he just does what he wants to do. Now look at this. Through such a beautiful story, Ramayana is teaching us such a profound principle of life, such a profound mindset that we have to work on, isn't it? So Ramayana is written in a way that can elevate the way we look at life. It can elevate the way we look at situations of life. Therefore, in my series, I call this as Ramayana, the game of life. Because I strongly feel that every single episode of the Ramayana is written in a way that can actually change the way we look at life, to change the perspective of our thinking. So I'll just quickly introduce all of you all to my books. I have a huge collection of books, so almost 40 books. So usually what happens is when people go to a book table like that, they get so confused. They don't know what to take because they don't know what is there in these books. So I'm just, Prabhuji, if you can just give me one book of each of the titles there on the book. Except the children books, all the this table, you can just get me one book. So, yeah, you can give me from this also. So, let me first introduce you all to my most important work, which is the Ramayana series. I've written a series of 6 books called Ramayana, the Game of Life. This is my magnum opus. This is 6 volumes of Ramayana. Each book is one kand of Ramayana. So every book is one kand. So this is Balakand, the first volume of Ramayana. The second volume of Ramayana is the Ayodhya Kand. Like that, 6 kands are there and 6 volumes are there, basically. So the way I have written these books, this series is that I have kept Valmiki Ramayana as the base. The story of Valmiki is the base. But I've added analogies from Kamba Ramayana, Tulsidasa's Ramayana, added commentaries of many acharyas of Shiva Vaishnava Sampradaya and Ayodhya and all that. In addition to that, I've added background stories. There are so many characters in the Ramayana, each of them have a backstory to it. Each episode in the Ramayana has a backstory. So I put all of that together. And that's what this whole series is. In addition to all of this, there are life lessons. The series is written in the exact same style that I've been speaking to you. So if what I have spoken to you has appealed to you, that's exactly the style in which this whole series is written. You will love it. And I really want all of you to have one set of this whole series. We have a few series left, few sets left over here. But if you can get this whole set, it will be a powerful collection for you all to meditate on and understand the teachings of Ramayana. So in addition to the Ramayana series, I have a few books that I want to introduce you all, some really interesting books. This book is called Mystical Tales for a Magical Life. This is my answer to Harry Potter. If anybody is mad about Harry Potter, you must read this book. This book has 11 unheard stories from the scriptures. Each story, I call these as crazy stories. These are the most mad stories you can ever read from our scriptures. They have magic, they have mysticism, they have some solid adventures, but each of them ends with a beautiful lesson that you can apply in your life. This book is one of my favorite books. This is the best book that I have written, and this is one of the best books that I will ever write in my life. It's called The Open-Eyed Meditations. This book has 64 chapters. Each chapter talks about one aspect of life seen through the lens of Ramayana and Mahabharata. So whatever problems you face in life, whatever situations you face in life, you will find a solution of that in this book through stories of Ramayana and Mahabharata. So based on this book, I have done so many seminars across the world. This is one of my favorite books. This is called The Little Blue Book on Krishna. This book has about 30-40 stories of Krishna's life. These are stories you would have never heard in your life. And this book will make you cry. This book will make you laugh. Book will make you fall in love with Krishna. I can guarantee you, you would have not read a single story from this book. So this book is called Two Fingers Short. For those who are about to get into the Kartik mood, this is a beautiful meditation to focus on. So when you read this book, you'll get some really interesting thoughts on Damodar Lila. It could also be used in your preaching of Damodar Ashtakam. This book is called Chronicles of Hanuman. This has about 100 stories of Hanumanji's life. Beautiful stories that end with a lesson each. This book is called Plug into Happiness. For anyone who is working in the corporate space, this is a superb addition to have. This book talks to you about how you can find balance in life. It also talks to you about workspace happiness. This is one of my latest books. It's called Shiva. This has about 50 stories of Lord Shiva's life. Fascinating stories, and you'll get to know so much about Lord Shiva, especially stories of each of the Jyotirlings of Lord Shiva. This book is a very interesting book. It's called Perfect Love, 5.5 Ways to Lasting Relationships. This book has 6 love stories from our scriptures. This book talks about how people fell in love, but more importantly, how they stayed in love for life. In today's time, when there is love at first sight and divorce at first fight, this is a very important book to have, And for anyone who is married, for anyone who is about to get married, and anyone who is thinking of getting married, this is a very important book to read. This book is called Magic of Friendship. This I have written for youngsters, for teenagers. And it's a book that will help teenagers understand how to develop meaningful and deep friendships in life. In addition to these two, it's a series. Both of them are together. Each book has 50 stories. This one has 50 stories from our scriptures, and this one has 50 stories from folk tales of India, like Tennali Raman, Vikram Betal, etc. And each of them teaches us some lessons that you can apply in your life. And finally, the last book I'm introducing you all is this. It's called Hanuman Chalisa. This is my favorite book. This book went on to become a #1 bestseller on Amazon for many months. It went on to become the most gifted book on Amazon for months together in India. This book has every word of Hanuman Chalisa explained through a story of Hanumanji. It's a very powerful meditation. It's a book that you will love. And when you read this book, you will fall in love with Hanumanji. You will fall in love with Lord Ram. So in addition to all these books, I have a collection of books for kids. And each of the books are superb. You can explore all of that. But before I end, I want to tell you all one small thing that I've been telling many people the last few months. Books should be seen as an investment and not an expense. A lot of people, when they buy books, they think that, why should I spend so much? But the fact is that the one investment that will never go waste is books. And each book lasts for about 500 years. So that means if you buy a book, 5 generations after you are going to read the book, basically. Potentially the book can last that long. And my suggestion to all of you all is that all of you should take some formal vows. From going forward, whenever you go for any marriages, birthday parties, any occasions, only give books as gifts. They are the best gifts you can ever give anybody. Plastic items, iPads, all of this will, at some point will get wasted. But books will remain and transform people's lives. So look at books from that point of view. And especially in today's time and age, when so much of adharmic forces are spreading widely, it is important to have good quality books. So the way I have written these books is such a way that modern people who are living ultra modern lives can read them very easily. They find it in a language that works for them. And it is a book, these are books that you can share with anyone, even those who are not devotees, anyone who has a little inclination towards understanding spirituality. You can just feel free to share with them, and for sure it will help them fall more in love with spirituality and understand our characters more. I'm very, very grateful to be here with all of you. Tomorrow, if you are going to come, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to give you all tomorrow. I'm going to give you all a little sneak peek into Hanumanji's life. And I'm going to tell you all some fantastic stories of Hanumanji that you would have never heard, and stories that will really make you appreciate the personality of Hanumanji even more. So please do come tomorrow, and we'll continue our series on Ramayana. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
I think Prabhu deserves another round of applause. That was just so wonderful. I'm attending a training course at work, and today they were talking about, that it's so important to establish what the purpose of a presentation is, and then at the end of it, you need to make sure that the goal was established. And Prabhu started off the class by saying that you realize how little you know about Ramayana. If you feel like that mission has been accomplished and you want to read Ramayana more, who all feel like that? Raise your hands. Everyone feels like that? Wonderful. And then how many of you all are going to come back tomorrow to listen to Hanuman? See, two hands now. Everyone is going to come themselves, Paramatma also, which is so wonderful. Thank you again so much, Shubha. So that was just phenomenal. And Prabhu's books, again, are there in the back. We have time for maybe 2 questions. So can we take... Prabhu already has his hand up.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thanks for such a wonderful class. My question is regarding the story which you told about Vali and Ravana. So Vali is doing Gayatri mantra. So what is the use of doing Gayatri mantra if he is not getting purified? So the purpose of austerity, the purpose of these mantras is to purify oneself. So why is that Vali, even though he is doing this Gayatri mantra, is not purified of his consciousness?
There are different reasons why people chant mantras. Some people chant mantras for purification, and some people chant mantras for siddhis. The interesting thing about mantras is that the consciousness with which you chant mantras and the desire with which you chant mantras, you get that only. So some people chant mantras for the wrong purpose, and they get that. Isn't it?
But specifically Gayatri mantra is meant for purification, right?
See, Gayatri mantra is meant for many things. There are many things that happen when you chant Gayatri mantra, according to the consciousness with which you chant. Gayatri mantra can help you attain connection with Surya Narayan, with the Supreme Lord. Gayatri mantra can be chanted for good health. Gayatri mantra can be chanted for powers. So it depends on what you want. Anything can happen with Gayatri mantra. Same with Hare Krishna Mahamantra, right? So you can water your anarthas with Hare Krishna Mahamantra, by the way. The holy name reciprocates with you. Krishna says, Ye tamam prapadyante. Krishna reciprocates with you the way you want. If you want him purely and nothing else, he will give himself to you. But if you want material things, that is much easier for him to give. He'll give that also. Isn't it? That's why I'm saying it depends on what consciousness you chant with.
Okay, one more question, Prabhu.
I think we can take somebody else as a question in the back.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. What a wonderful class. So I have two questions. In fact, one question, two subfolded questions I have. When we speak about this Navaratri, right, the 9th day, the 10th day we are celebrating Dasara, right, where Ram is, killing Ravan, right? That is what the celebration happened in the 10th day. What is the significance of Goddess Durga, Ram, and this, how the significance is all about? Second question, Prabhu, is when we speak about Ravan has a 10 head, is it true or Ravan has an IQ of a 10 head actually, because he was thinking 10 way to his thinking. Actually, Ravan has a 10 head, actually he has an IQ of 10 head. So there's a two question, Prabhuji.
So as far as the first question is concerned, the understanding is when Lord Ram, before Ram went to fight against Ravan, he performed worship of Lord Shiva and Goddess Durga. And he performed the Navaratri, which we call, so 9 days of worshipping Durga Devi. And on the 10th day, he killed Ravan. That is the Navaratri celebration and ending with Dashera, basically, the killing of Ravan. So that's one explanation that I can give you on that. As far as the 10 heads of Ravan is concerned, it is up to us to understand the way we want it. So the scriptures, the scriptures are simultaneously symbolic as well as real. The scriptures are called itihasa. That means they are histories. So now if Ravan is being described in a particular way, now I have the right to interpret it the way I want. So if somebody wants to look at Ravan as if he has 10 heads, that's also right. If somebody wants to look at Ravan as if he has 10 heads intelligence, that's also right. So you can't say that is wrong and you can't say this is wrong. Both of it is right. It is according to your Shraddha, according to your faith, and according to your ability to digest information. So basically I would say that the way I look at things, the way I look at Ramayana is, I don't get into the details. I don't get into the details of whether he had 10 heads or didn't have 10 heads. My point is that what do I learn from it? It doesn't matter to me whether the Vanaras were actually monkeys or human beings. My point is that what do I learn from it? So I would always tell people, don't get stuck with the details. Focus on the essence. And in the essence, there is no problem. There is no confusion, basically. Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So again, devotees, we're so grateful to Vilas Prabhu. Please make sure to take a look at the books that Prabhu has and support. Srila Prabhupada often had indicated to his disciples that they need to write, and those have been instructions that their disciples have passed on to their disciples. So this is our parampara. As Vaisheshka Prabhu says, this is our family business to distribute books, purchase books, and support devotees like Vilas Prabhu who have dedicated their entire life into writing literature like this. So please support Prabhu, please purchase them, and they look so amazing. Like, I need to make more room in my bookshelf for most of the books from here today. So thank you so much again, Vilas Prabhu. Tomorrow evening, we will meet back here at 6:30 sharp to dive into the pastimes of Sri Hanumanji, Sri Anjaneya, who I know is dear to all of us. We all love Lord Hanuman. So it is going to be a very ecstatic Thursday. It will truly be a transcendental Thursday tomorrow. So please, we look forward to seeing all of you here tomorrow. Next part of the program is Aarti. And after Aarti, we'll serve Prasadam. Prabhu will be at the back if anyone would like to speak with him at this time. But Aarti will be going on here. After Aarti, we will serve Prasadam in the temple. Hare Krishna.
Namo Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Mao Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavari Pashatari Satavine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavari Pashyatari Satavine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari Radhe, Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari Radhe, Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Subhadra, Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Gauranita Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Gauranita Jaya Gaurita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Nitai Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gaurita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
We request everyone to bow down.
जयं विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्टोटर श्री भक्ति वेदांत त्रिदंडी गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय विधि फाउंडर आचार्य शिला प्रभुपाद की जय पति पावन सेवक स्वगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय जयं विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्टोटर श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय इस्कॉन परंपरा की जय जयं विष्णुपाद परमहंस.
जय की जय 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 की जय की जय 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 हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण.
So, before we chant Nrsimha prayers, I want to also take a moment to thank Girish Prabhu and family. Where are they? There's, okay, Girish Prabhu and family who have sponsored the Prashadam today. Prabhu, is there any special occasion for sponsoring today? Huh? Jai Prabhuji, half a century. Wonderful. It is the auspicious day, and of course, you're right today, so thank you so much. Let us all chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra before we chant Nrsimha prayers to Girish Prabhu and to pray for their entire family that they continue to spread the glories of Shri Ram, Shri Radha Kunj Vihari wherever they go. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Namaste Narashinghaya Namaste Narashinghaya Pralay Pralay Dardahine Hiranyakashipu Yakshaha Shilatankalakhaya Re Ito Nrsimha Parato Nrsimha यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा Bhai Nrsimha Hidaye Nrsimha Narasingamadim Sharanam Papade Tava Karakalavadinakan Adbhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Nanu Bringa Keshavadika Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare
Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha
Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Lahari
Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Nitya Gaura Haribo 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 Nitya Haribo Jai
Shri Nrsimha Bhagwan ki Jai